Alright, so I am pretty much 48 hours out from my match with Bogdan Stoica at Arm Wars. I just wanted to kind of talk about where my head's at going into that match. Talk about a lot of things actually. I didn't want to just talk about that. I wanted to make it very clear straight away that what I'm saying now is real. There's nothing, there's no act, there's no showmanship, there's nothing of the nature going on. This is me. Two very clear things exist in the world for me. When I say the world, I'm talking about within my career as a YouTuber and as an arm wrestler. A lot of people struggle to differentiate between them. A lot of people don't even know that they truly exist, and the result of that is a blending of the two. What I refer to is, first of all, me as the arm wrestler, the person who is just purely pursuing the best level I can reach within the sport in the physical sense. The other side of me is the YouTuber or the entertainer, the showman, whatever you want to call it. I believe from that place is where the majority of the what we would call the delusional stuff has been born and lives. There is a crossover naturally between them, very much so. First of all, I want to speak of character. I want to speak of genuineness. I want to speak of what all this means to me. Now, going forward as an arm wrestler, be very clear that this is the sport that I've chosen to pursue. When I was a young man, a teenager in fact, I was pursuing tennis. I got close as a junior. I was in the top 10 in Australia as a junior. I won occasional national titles. I got close, but at the end of school age, when I was 17 and a half, almost 18, I had to make a decision on whether I would continue to pursue tennis or not. It took me about 6 months to make that decision to quit. I quit because of a lack of conviction in my mind. I was intimidated by my opponents that were ranked above me. I didn't believe I had what was capable, what was required to catch these guys, and I didn't believe there was a possibility of that becoming a career for me. I was very much an independent young man, and I wanted to be able to be financially on my own feet, and I loved adventure, and subsequently I joined the Australian Army and became a aerial delivery logistics officer, where I ended up serving 7 years, finishing as a captain in the Australian Army. I always loved arm wrestling. I always thought it was something that was it was just awesome. I arm wrestled all through my primary school, my high school, in the Army, and I always did well. I very rarely lost to people, certainly people my age. It was very rare. Didn't matter if they were bigger than me. Among people who had never been trained in arm wrestling specifically, I won the very, very vast majority of arm wrestlers. Now, arm wrestling, when I found it, it was the second chance for me. It was the second chance to fall forward. Falling forward for me is the lesson that I missed in tennis. The lesson that I want to be able to impart to my son and to other people. You always hear about, you grow up and you become an adult and you say to yourself, be the person that you needed when you were a kid. And when I was a kid, as a sports person, I needed someone to guide me in the sense that you fall forward and that you don't fear your losses. You don't fear the process of becoming better. Now, I've embraced that in the arm wrestling world. I've been in for 9.5 years. A lot of you, for the vast majority of people who subscribe to the channel, they probably aren't aware of the full story of how long I've been at it. A lot of people think simply that I am just in the last 2 years. A lot of people say, Ryan, you haven't made any progress in 10 years. To those people, I say, look, it's cool. It is cool. And this is where I believe a lot of it comes from. The internet is a very strange place. The internet is such a strange place that people seek affirmation from other people And whatever it is cool to do, they do too. And if it's cool to criticize, if it's cool to laugh and point your finger and say someone's weak, Ryan can't arm wrestle, he's just going to lose, then that's what it's cool to do. And I do believe a lot of people on this channel who comment fall into that category of simply doing what it is cool to do because it's cool to do it. The truth is, I've progressed a long way in this sport. When I first started in the sport, I was nobody within the Australian scene. I've gone from being a very weak person at the start. My history in the military was that I was a strong and fit athlete. For my size and weight, I was always very capable. I did very well throughout sports, any sport that I played when I was a child. And in the army, it was much the same. I had great success. Losing my train of thought. I had great success throughout those periods of time. And when I found arm wrestling, like I said, I was weak. I was coming from the back of an injury. I was 87 kilos, but very poor in my shape. I was atrophied during my time in the military. I received a back injury in 2007, a parachuting accident that I sustained whilst training at Fort Lee, Virginia in the USA. After that period of time, it was very difficult for me to be the athlete that I once was. During my time in the army, where I felt very agile, I could run, had great strength to weight. Strength to weight capability was very good. My push-ups and my heaves were part of the requirement to be a parachutist, and I used to be able to do quite a significant number of those. The requirement to become a parachutist was, first of all, 20 overgrasp heaves, continuous to full hang, and push-ups. I can't remember the number, but I remember we trained all of our subordinates to be able to do 100 push-ups. And we did that collectively. My point being was I was a capable human before I found arm wrestling, but then the parachuting accident led me to become a very sedentary human for a number of years. Walking was very difficult. Every step, I remember, felt like eggshells. My L4, L5 disc had been torn, and the subsequent disc bulging and pressing on the nerve was something that was managed daily. Over the years, as it went by, it slowly but steadily improved. But my point being is that where I started in arm wrestling was very, very weak. In fact, I will put a photo. There it is right there. There is a photo of me at my start point, as you can see. 2013, I believe that photo was taken, maybe 2012. You can see I'm atrophied, I'm weak, I'm thin. Despite being that atrophied, I did weigh 87 kilos at my first ever Australian Nationals. Now, when I competed there, I made the decision thinking, oh look, I will move down to the 80 kilo class. That's where I'll be best competitive, and I'll be able to pursue my goals. As I said, I failed in tennis. I did not want to fail in this. I saw arm wrestling as my second chance, and I said I'm not going to have the same thing stop me. I'm going to fall forward. I'm not going to fear losing. I'm going to embrace it, and I'm going to rack up the losses as fast as I can. I'm going to seek out the losses till I cannot find them anymore, and I will start by doing that locally, then in my state, then in my country, then internationally. Where we are right now, ladies and gentlemen, and this is where I will come back to addressing the internet and those people that mock and laugh. Honestly, I think it is a rather weak and pathetic thing to be sitting there mocking and laughing someone in the way that a lot of comments have done so. I invite you all to assess your position on that and speak truthfully to yourself, and recognize that the way you speak in that manner is not from a place of reality. It's not from a place of truth. It's from a place of doing what is cool for the sake of doing what is cool, because the majority are doing it. Now, why are the majority doing that? I will embrace wholeheartedly that I've said things many times that can be taken and mixed with other things that I've said that have led to contradictions. I'm sure every single one of you, if you went through that process, if you created as much content as I do, you would find the ability to slip up. I don't think there's a person out there on the YouTube world that couldn't have a delusional series made about them. I challenge you, and if you disagree with that, I think you are a fool, honestly. All of that said, I own any contradictions that I've made. I also happily speak my truth here regarding things like bench press, regarding things like all of those things, hand size, whatever. It doesn't matter. The Delusional Ryan Bowen series is a series that is made purely off taking clips of my videos, changing the context of those videos, manipulating the order of the words in which I say, changing the intent behind the meaning of what I've said, and putting it all together in an attempt to gain fame from an anonymous account. That account is now monetized, and that account now actually generates revenue. Who is behind it? I, to this day, do not know. I do not care. But I do not like it. I will happily say I do not like the Delusional Ryan Bowen series. I don't watch it. I don't care to watch it. If people send it to me, I dismiss it. I'm not interested in it. I do think it is a reflection of the weaker side of humans. I think it's a reflection of the needy and greedy side, that anonymity on the internet is something that people grab onto, and when they can achieve some degree of feeling cool, feeling popular, feeling successful through anonymity, that is what they do. I don't think that the person who is the genuine creator of the Delusional Ryan Bowen series has the courage or bravery to actually sit down with me and have an open and honest conversation about it. If they were, I would do it in a heartbeat. If that person is out there and that person is genuine enough and willing to, let's do it. I will happily have a live video discussion with that person, but I am certain that they won't. I am certain that they are not interested in it, because the anonymity behind it is their security and their blanket, which makes them feel better at night. And because they get such success from it, they will continue. So I don't expect anything to change, but I will 100% confirm that I do not enjoy it, I do not like it, I do not approve of it, and I have no interest in perpetuating it into the future. So that was a long lead up to how I am feeling coming into this match against Bogdan Stoica, which will take place on Saturday. Now, this match is not going to be live, ladies and gentlemen. You do need to be aware that if you want to see this match, you are going to need to wait approximately 2 weeks before the first Arm Wars Ironhouse #2 films start to be released. I have been informed by Neil and James that this will be the first film that they release, so it will not be long to wait, and it will be featured very well. Bogdan Stoica from Romania, he's a killer. I believe people rank him above that of Raymond Lipens. I acknowledge that, I see that, and I am excited to face the man. I am excited to face the man because I do not fear the man. I do not fear the process. I do not fear anything. I believe I am in good shape right now. I'm excited to see what I can do against Bogdan. Win or lose, nothing changes for me. I have a game plan. I'm bringing it in. As I said, when I was starting this process, I sought out losses until I could no longer find them anymore. I believe in my process. I believe in my mindset. I believe that I am very comfortable moving forward. I'm very comfortable taking on challenges that get bigger and bigger. I like to move forward at such a pace that falling forward has become a habit. Often when I lose to somebody, the next match I have is someone better. This I am very grateful for in this instance, to be on the other side of the world. I'm here in the UK. I lost to Raymond Lipens and he was too good for me on the day, absolutely. The man at 90 kilos was far better than I was, and he deserves every accolade for that victory. But I'm very honoured that I have the opportunity to an attempt to fall forward straight away. Bogdan Stoica is a bigger man. He's got higher credentials than Ray, and I will face him in 2 days' time. I look forward to it tremendously. Win or lose, I get the opportunity to fall forward. I get the opportunity to keep on grinding forward. As I said, win or lose, I'm not stopping. Win or lose, I continue this game. I love arm wrestling. I will always love arm wrestling. I will always continue it, and I move forward. At the end of the day, I do think a lot of this comes down to perception. Perception is reality on the internet in a lot of people's minds. But the reality that I call on for myself, and one that I call on for all professional arm wrestlers, is the reality that is what it is like between myself and any other person that I've ever met online. To all the people that mock and enjoy the mocking of me, I ask you to check yourself. I ask you to wonder and question whether you believe it is the right move. I am not in any way a person that when you meet me for real, that you would struggle to get along with. You'll find that I'm kind, you'll find that I'm caring, you'll find that I have time, energy, and willingness to share with other people. I enjoy meeting other arm wrestlers, I enjoy communities, and everyone that I have met to date in a face-to-face situation has been lovely. I would challenge that if you go down the path of mockery, if you go down the path of belittlement, if you go down the path of thinking it's cool to be cool and continue to just throw shade for the sake of it, I think that when you speak in person to me someday, you may not feel comfortable. And this is not a threat of violence or something ridiculous like that. This is, you will feel an embarrassment. You'll feel how do I speak with this person? And I don't think that's where we should go, especially if you're a professional arm wrestler. To everybody that knows me already, they know this to be true. To everybody that knows me, has met me in person, we get along well. And to those people, it's very rare to see people who know me in person mock me online. Anyway, Bogdan Stoica, he's coming up this Saturday. He's the overwhelming favorite, and that excites me. I've never been more underestimated in my life for a match, and for that reason, it's truly a huge opportunity. I will give him my best. I will perform as absolutely sharply as I can. I have a great game plan that I believe in. Am I strong enough? We will find out. I will then pull Adrian Popescu in the live, which if you do want to see that, you can sign up to the Arm Wars members area, and you'll be able to see that live. I believe that is on Monday that I face Adrian Popescu. Both guys from Romania, both guys great arm wrestlers. I look forward to facing them both. It has been a wonderful trip so far, this European trip. I hope it's got more surprises yet. Regardless, I hope you've learned something a little bit more about me. This is me, truthful. I'm talking straight. There's no showman, there's no act, there's nothing here. Everything I've said to you that's real. It's real. You take from it what you will. But I, as I said, will continue this journey. Whether it's with support or with mockery. This journey will continue, and I will continue to get better as both an arm wrestler and as an entertainer. And yes, nothing will stop that. Only death will literally stop me from getting to the point where I call myself an arm wrestler. And this sport is one of those sports where you can continue to improve and be at your best for a long, long time. I come into this match on the weekend at 98 kilos. I feel happy and healthy. I'm hydrated and I'm ready to go. Bogdan Stoica, Adrian Popescu. I'll see you gentlemen very soon.